Hey y'all, I'm Jordan Gill here from System Saved Me, and in this video, I'm going to give you a quick demo of Acuity scheduling, which is straight up my favorite software ever. I've used Acuity for 5 years. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've totally fallen in love with them because they have upgraded my whole calendar life. It's so extremely easy to set up and get started and even run your entire service-based business off of. This is not a drill. I know several people who do this. And one of the best parts is they have a totally free version. So you can try it out for yourself if you like it. You can keep on using the free version forever. I'll be showing you a few of the free capacities as well as what you can do when you pay a small fee every month. I do want to give you a quick mini backstory in basically 2 seconds. The founder, Gavin, actually built Acuity to help his mom with her massage therapy business. And now everyone and their moms are using Acuity too. You get to schedule things like sales calls, coffee chats, podcast interviews, JV webinars, in-person meetings, and so much more. It is literally one of the most flexible tools out there. No joke. One of my favorite features of Acuity is its seamless integration with Zoom. No more manually creating video scheduling links. Yay! And it takes less than 6 clicks. All right, enough talk. I'd love to show you around. So as you can see, we are on the main page. So I'm just going to go ahead and log in real quick. Thankfully, y'all can't see my password. Okay, so this is what Acuity looks like when you first walk into the platform. And as you can see, I have a very light week, which is just fantastic. It's actually because I'm getting my ceiling fixed, but not for any exciting reasons. But the first place that I would want to show you is appointment types. So you can create so many different appointment types. It's kind of crazy actually. And I take a little advantage of this. So as you can see, I have my different categories of appointment types. So I have connection, which means that I'm connecting with people who are not clients, either for sales calls or in-person meetings or market research or any of those sorts of things. Then I have another category called consult, and that is just a really simple way for my clients to actually get hours with me and just pay through Acuity, which again makes things really easy. And then content, which is where I actually host or manage all of my guests for the System Save Me podcast. Check us out on iTunes or Google Play or Spotify or Alexa. Shameless plug. And then, I had JV partners as well. So as you can see, there's several different appointment types. And what's awesome is you can actually just go in here, go to new type of service, add in the name, add a description that you want at the top of the page, and maybe a message that you want to have for the thank you page or confirmation page after they've booked an appointment. And here's what's awesome is you can have the duration of the call be a certain length, and then you can actually block off time before and after the appointment. So a lot of times if I think a call is going to run long, then I will add a little bit of padding. See, great for bathroom breaks, sandwich gobbling, and or power napping. True life. Again, you can decide if people need to pay for this type of call. And then this is where you create your categories. You've got all sorts of gorgeous colors. You can even add a fun photo or two. I always tend to just click private because I don't tend to use the all-in-one calendar scheduler. So I would suggest you just have private as well. Now, I'm also going to show you that you can create group classes. So this would be if you maybe have a coaching program or you have something where it's one-on-one and they buy a package of calls with you. So maybe, it's a 3-month coaching program. You have 1 call a week. That's 12 calls. And you don't want them to have to reschedule every single time that they want to book a time with you. So it looks very similar to the other but this little group class down here, so you have to check this is a class or a group event, and then you have a max number of people, again, if you have a coaching program. And then you can also check if clients must sign up for all the times that this is offered. So this means that essentially if you want them to have on their calendar every Tuesday at noon for the full 3 months, then you can do that. Or they can choose different times for all of their courses. So there's a lot of opportunities there. It can get real spicy real quickly. That's honestly how easy it is to create an actual appointment type. And next, I'm going to show you how really simple it is to choose your availability. So this is, if you are not new to Acuity, this is actually their new way of scheduling. And so as you can see, there's different groups. It'll kind of chunk it in its own way, but also you can create the different groups as well. So if you only want to be taking client type calls in one group and then sales calls in another group and whatever else and the rest, then you can have several actual appointment types in a group. So if you want to go and edit availability and limits, you can actually either set hours just manually on whatever day you want, or you can have regular hours every single week. And that means that you say every week on Wednesdays from noon to 5, I want to make myself available to have 30-minute chats. Super, super easy. Then, and again, you just click this, type in the times, set the hours, done. Then you go into client scheduling limits. And this is where you can get super spicy. So if you are a more advanced user, then you can move these things around. And, it's always bad when a client books a time and you literally haven't looked at your calendar because maybe you were running errands. And so I always suggest having about 12 hours in advance. I've shortened it a little bit, for various reasons, but I generally say 24 to 12 hours in advance. And then again, just leave that 365 days in the future. And also allow for only one appointment per slot. And also don't allow clients to cancel, if it's less than 3 hours in advance. And then maximum appointments. This would be if you want to have a time slot, say again, from 12 to 5, but you only want to have 3 calls. You don't want people to actually be able to book every hour or every half hour. Then you would come into here and say, accept max number appointments of, 3 hours a day. I only want to be on a call. So you can mess around with that a little bit if you want. So I'm going to undo that and keep it. So again, that's really how easy the set availability is. I suggest, honestly, if you're just starting out, to set regular hours every single week. Decide what days that you want to take calls and go from there. Make it easy on yourself. Another thing you'll want to check out is this default client scheduling limits. So going to the edit button, really looking at all these different things. If you want to have some of these are very similar to the actual groups, but you can kind of tweak them to be just for all, so general scheduling limits. So if you do not set any limits on these specific groups, then it will automatically just default to these general scheduling limits that you have. And so again, all of these are the same as before, but you might want to look at this fun, cool feature is sometimes you don't want people to know that you have, 5 hours open on a Wednesday. So you actually can click this and reduce the amount of available appointments. So that way it's like, oh, she's so busy. She only has 3 times versus, 3 days of times. So that's a fun little toggle to play with if you have, generally speaking, bigger chunks of time. And then this is really big too, because sometimes it can be annoying to have, one appointment, 2 hours later, another appointment, an hour, another appointment. So this really helps reduce the number of gaps in between things. So they really try and encourage booking when up against each other. So again, make sure that you set it up to have a post-call buffer time. So that way you have space to, again, go to the bathroom, take a power nap, eat a sandwich, all of the above. So that's all the fun stuff from there. Next, we're going to go into intake form questions. This is where you can have people answer, what their business is, or what their current weight is if you're a personal trainer, or when their wedding date is if you're a wedding planner. So that way you feel prepared for the call when you get on it. So for example, this is my sales form. This is my sales form. And I ask specific questions like business name, business URL, how do you describe what you do, types of business, all that good stuff. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can ask questions, and it can make it really, really easy for people to sign up for a call with you. Once you create the form, you must check one of the appointment types over here because it needs to obviously connect to the appointment type. One cool thing, one little trick that I do when it comes to in-person meetings is this little guy right here. So for example, I live in Dallas, Texas, and if someone's wanting to meet in person, I don't want to go back and forth asking about, where do you want to meet? Oh, where are you at? Oh, I'm in Irving. Oh, I'm in Dallas. Where's the middle? Do you want to meet at a Starbucks? Do you want to have lunch? No, I don't want to have any of those questions. So when people book to meet me in person, I actually already have a set list of 5 places that are great lunch spots or great coffee shops or stuff like that are pretty, some of them are close to me. Some of them are closer to another area I might be trying to connect with people. So I make it really easy so that they can choose the place in which we are going to meet. I also try and ask if there's something specific that we're going to chat about, because I don't want to get on the phone and then not know what it is that or get in person or on the phone, wherever, and not know what we're going to talk about. So just have them write a quick blurb if it's like, oh, we're talking about this thing or whatever else. Also, if you're doing coffee chats, this is the last part I want to show you, is again, where did we meet? And then is there something specific we're chatting about? Both of those are important to have in a coffee chat sort of arena. So it's not supposed to be in that one. So I'll change that. Now we're going to go into email settings and really look at their confirmation emails and reminder emails. So for example, that Let's Meet Up appointment type that I just showed you actually has the location that they chose as part of the subject line. But before I get into the fancy stuff, you can do a lot of stuff. So I'll just go through these different confirmation types. They all are pretty similar, and some of them have GIFs, which is very exciting. So if you're a GIF lover, then Acuity and you are going to get along quite swimmingly. So, but I'm going to go back to this one. It's very, very simple. And again, for this one, this is an in-person meeting. Again, I don't want to go back and forth with where it is that we're meeting. So whatever they chose in their form, it ends up in the confirmation email. It ends up down here. It ends up in the subject line. So there's no missing that. And you'll see a bunch of these different percentage things. Those are essentially custom fields. And again, if you just look over in the insert field part, then very similar to email marketing or other software and tools that you have, you can actually merge these custom fields into email so that, again, it feels more personalized and feels a lot more professional. So you can have their first names. You can, again, have the time and how long it'll be. You can have all these things. And then also, again, how you get this actual custom field from the intake form that they just filled out is, again, if you scroll down long enough, it says intake form answers. And then you can scroll all your different intake forms and add what it is that they responded with. So you can actually share with them all of the answers that they shared with you, or you can just pick the ones that are really important for them to have for the call. So again, for this meeting, it's just percentages. For some of my other things, I let them know that I use Zoom for video calls, which I'm going to show you how to integrate in just a hot sec. And again, that's just a merge tag. I also include right here a link to Zoom in case people have not ever used Zoom before. I want to make sure that they feel comfortable about what's going to be expected of them. So that's another easy thing you can do. Or if you use Skype and not everybody you know is familiar with Skype, you can mess around with doing a quick tutorial on how to do that. So those are the few things in confirmation emails. Reminder emails, I'm big on sending them 24 hours before and 1 hour before. And all other things apply here. So you can do all custom fields, add GIFs, links, all the snazzy stuff. So you can mess around with the emails quite a bit. So the last thing I really want to show you is integrations. So this is where you can connect Zoom automatically to your Acuity. So if you click setup, mine's already set up, but if you want to set it up, you click this button, and then what will happen is you will have to go to your Zoom API page and look for your API keys. Now, if you have trouble, it actually has a link to them when you first sign up for Acuity. Instead of all this information, it'll actually say, if you can't find your API keys, click here, and it will actually open it up in Zoom. Once you insert the keys, then it will open up like this. And really, it's as simple as, okay, what are all of the appointment types that I want to use Zoom for? So I click the few that I want to use it for. I enable join before host, and I click save. So anytime you create a new meeting and you want it to be a video meeting, then you need to also come into Zoom and make sure that you click the checkbox next to it. Sometimes I forget to do that. So that's really coming from personal experience. So that is the big integration with Zoom. And I really just want to reiterate that Acuity scheduling has the best customer support in the entire world. Any issues, and they are so quick to respond, usually with a GIF, which obviously makes me love them. If you want to get started with Acuity scheduling today, head on over to systemsaveme.com/Acuity or click the button below. I do want to be super upfront with you. I do get a small monthly commission, basically the equivalent of a Starbucks chai tea latte, but that's no extra cost to you. So you can just sign up for the free version and check it out. And if you want to move to the paid version in order to get the Zoom integration, then you can do so. Super, super easy. And also, I'm here to answer your questions. So if you're watching this on YouTube, ask any questions below and I'll do my best to answer or point you in the right directions. If you're watching this on the System Save Me website, go ahead and leave a comment below as well. Or if you just want to send me an email, help yourself. I'm at hello@systemsavedme.com. I'm super happy to help because I really believe in this tool. I have put a lot of time and effort into really understanding which scheduling software was right for me, and I just want to share the love. So go ahead and check it out, systemsaveme.com/Acuity, or hit the button below, and I look forward to seeing how you're able to use it. And again, like I said, Acuity customer support is one of the best on the interwebs. So even if you need help, they've got your back. Hopefully this was helpful. Thanks so much, and I appreciate you. Again, last time, the link is systemsavedme.com/Acuity, which I do get a small commission from. Thanks so much, and I will see you on the interwebs.